car seat that I'm going to take apart to clean the upholstery. All right, so I'm going to put this thing's attached to a head strap. So I'm going to see if I can put this on and disassemble this, and I'll try to walk you through it. All right, so in order to take this thing apart, and then we'll reassemble it. Okay, when it's washed, I'm going to throw this all in the washing machine, all the fabric. Okay, so first I open this part up, and I'm going to clean this. So the first thing I'm going to do, take these two off. These two pieces of fabric, just Velcro. Now I'll wash these. Next thing I'm going to do is open this up, and I'm going to take this piece off. Actually, you know what? I'll take this and this off. Okay, so the way you take this off, this just slides off, and this goes through this little hole here. So that just comes off like that. It's got like a little metal in it. Next thing I'm going to take off is this, and I'm going to wash this. It's under here now. This is just held on by, there should be two-sided tape, but it came loose at some point. And this is not going to fall off because this piece of metal holds against it. But in order to take this off, you have to just put it through there. So I'm going to just pull it, twist it sideways, push it through when it's twisted sideways. There we go. All right, so that's off. Okay. Next thing is I'm going to take the seat off. In order to get the seat off, I'm just going to lift this front part, lift it around this, just sitting behind there. Now that that's gone, I can pull this up. And these are around these two hooks, like that. Now this should lift up, and this is behind here. So now this is off. Next thing I'm going to take off is this bottom. And a lot of these parts are just pushed underneath, like here. So let's start with the back. This is pushed behind here, under this, around here. And this has a little piece of plastic that goes in between the blue and the white piece. Okay. Now same thing, I'm gonna pull this out and around, under, and pull it from the back, out. So now we're over here. Now there's a little hook in here. Take it out from the hook. It's underneath here. I'll work our way around. There's another hook over here. And to put it back later, probably need like a pencil or something to latch it over here if your fingers aren't small enough. Same deal in between, under, this time front to back, and then we'll pull it from the back to the front, and that's off. Okay, we're getting there. Next thing, I'm going to take these two things off, and these are just, see that? Right under here. So I'm just gonna grab this, push it over the little hook, and now it's out. Same thing there, you can see right there is its escape route. So push this back half an inch and slide it out. Okay. All right. Now let's take off this piece here. So let's grab it from the front and pull it. There's, you know what, it's hooked. It's hooked under right there. So there's one hook. Let's get the other side as long as we're back here. The other side is right there. Now it's not attached anymore. I should be able to pull it from the back forward, up and out. We got another hook going underneath here and around, and then we're going to slide it through. You just remember where it was. This was in the highest Actually, there's only one set. There's only one set of things. So there's Velcro back here. Pull the Velcro out, put this out, Velcro out, pull it out. Now to wash this, I'm gonna put the Velcro back. Probably better to have it Velcroed together. All right, next, one more piece of material, okay? So this, I'm gonna take it from in here and pull downward. That's it, now that's not attached. Same thing here. And it's between the gray, pull downward, and you can see it's inside here. So let's pull it down, and that's disattached. And this is just basically sitting there, so I'll take this off. Now for the last thing, I want to take these straps out. I'm not going to put these in the washing machine, but I'm going to wash them off, and it's easier if you just take the whole thing off. So I'm going to click this back down, and here's the mechanism that you use to pull the car seat tight. So when you pull it in, hold on, watch. So down here is where it's attached. So it's attached, there's one thing that attaches underneath here, and we're not gonna have to take that apart. But if you pull down on this, watch, see how it's moving? So again, this releases the whole mechanism so that you can pull this backwards, okay? And it gives you a little bit of extra. Pull this down, and then there's a similar thing where these two are attached just onto the top. So you have to let these guys escape too. They're both on the top. So I'm gonna push this down and out. There's one out. Let's push this other one out. Down. And out. Okay, so now these two are not attached. You can pull them right through on the other side. So pull this one through. And if you've changed the height of these things because your kid's grown, you've had to do this before. So now that's that. So now we're finished. So I'm gonna clean these off. Now make sure you don't take these off. If you take them off, remember how they went back on, okay? Put it back together. So that's it. Now I'm gonna wash this, clean this in here because it's filthy, and put these things into the washing machine, which is 1 piece, 2 piece, 3 piece, 4 pieces, 5, 6, 7. And this I'll wash by hand. That's it. You wanna help me? Would you like to help me? Okay, you can help me later. So that's it. I'm gonna put them in the wash. I'll wash this off. When you come back, this will be nice and clean, and I'll put it back together. All right, I hear the whole gang waking up upstairs, but let's put this back together. So the first thing I'm gonna do is put this through the front hole of the eye. So you shove it through like this. Make sure it's headed the right way, watch. Like this. All right, so you pull it up. Now it's sitting there, and this button is closest to me. Next thing, I found the easiest way to put this back through is to lower this as far as it'll go. All right, and there are 2 little metal pieces in here. Make sure you have it oriented correctly, and then you put these all the way through. Over the metal pieces. You'll feel it with your finger. I'll put this over that metal piece, and then it should come out the back on the bottom. So let's go see. I'll thread it through more. Here comes one. Where's the other one? Here's the other one. All right, and there you have those 2. Make sure it's even. It doesn't have to be even. They just have to be oriented the right way. Then we'll take this back piece, and if you remember, it kind of goes like this. So this one goes first. This one goes second. And here's where you just have to make sure that it's caught within this little hook down here. So watch, I'm gonna put this through, thread it through, and make sure it's captured by this hook so it can't come back out. Watch. There it goes. All right. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull this through just to test. I'm pulling with one hand, and I'll actually lift the seat up also. All right, and there it went. It disappeared back there, which it's supposed to. Now, for the time being, these, there's two sides to this. The rough side with a big lump, and the smooth side. The smooth side is going to be against your kid's skin. So what I like to do is put one side in here, put the other side in there, and then these hook, let's release this a little bit. These hook on under this seat, watch. So this lumpy part's not going to go near your kid's skin. It's going to go right to the side of the seat. Same thing, make sure this hook is captured. One, make sure that hook is captured. It can't come out like this. You don't want to leave it like this. See how it is? All right, so that's it. So now you can picture your child sitting there, okay, with this soft stuff against their leg. All right, so that's done. Now all we have to do is put the little pieces, the pieces of upholstery back on. The most difficult one is this bottom front one, because you have to go around the seatbelt loop and around that seatbelt loop. So we can start with that one. There's a little hole, that's your orientation point, and the elastic goes on the bottom. So let's open this up, get it out of the way. All right, so first thing I'm gonna do is thread this through that hole. And that just gives you an approximate point where it starts. So you also have this little silver, and this gives you an idea whether it's straight or not. So you have these two hooks here that go down here. You have this red thing that the upholstery has to go around. So let's start. I have this little locking hemostat. You can use a pencil, you can use whatever you need to get this around this hook here. But I find the best way is to put this on first. Let's see here. And that'll just snug everything up nice and nicely. So there's one on that. And then this is going to wind up going like so. The material goes on the inside, so I'm just going to lie it here for the moment and just kind of put it over the armrest here. Same thing on this side. We'll put this over the armrest. I'm just laying it here, okay? And we'll put the hook down there is the hook. Right here is the elastic. See if we could stick it on top there. All right, and if you don't have this, it makes it easier, but you don't absolutely need to have that. You can use your fingers if they're small. You can use a pencil. All right, so you're gonna go the blue and the gray, you're gonna go between. So first thing I'm gonna do is pull this forward in between the blue and the gray. And I'm gonna make sure I go around this red thing. You can't really miss because there's a hook right there. All right, so same thing on this side. You go over the hook and then in between. And you make sure you, and again, tension holds this thing on. All right, so there's that. All right, you can look, there's nothing in the front that's really not attached by any way, shape, or form. It's just a little bit of elastic holding it. The next part's really what holds it on well. Okay, so we're gonna go around the gray. So we gotta go all around the gray, and it tucks underneath, okay? And there's a thick piece of plastic here. The thick piece of plastic is on the other side of the armrest, goes in between these two. So you kind of get it above and just shove it down in there. And like I said, you use this gray to kind of line everything up. Okay, and on the back side, I don't know if you can see, this goes under. It's the same kind of idea. Under and around and tucks in the back. Okay, this just sits down here. So again, the idea is you go under and around this gray, and this can sit back there, and around and under this gray. Now let's do it on this side, okay? We're gonna go around this gray seatbelt loop. When we get to this side, up and over, and down, and under and around this seatbelt loop. And that's that. Okay, and you can adjust these a little bit if you want. You can pull up a little bit, push this down. But the main thing is that you can get a seatbelt through here, and you can see this whole thing in the front is behind these little hooks so that this can snap in. So let's try it. All right, so that's that. That's the hardest one. Okay, second one. Let's do the seat, okay? The seat, depending on how large your kid is, I put this in the hole furthest away from their body because my kids are pretty big. So I'm gonna just thread this through here. Okay, there's 2 more hooks. The way this works, let's open this up, is it's just kind of tension in the front with the elastic. So we're under there. This is gonna slide around, and it's very, very close. The hole's a little bit smaller than the gray thing is, so this is not going anyplace, okay? We'll lay the seat down, and there are a couple of hooks on the side of the seat, and they go over here. So you don't want to go over this, you want to bring it underneath. So let's bring it underneath. If it's crossed over, it doesn't matter. 1, and do this side. 2. Again, if you're a perfectionist, you can make sure that this is not crossed, but it doesn't make any difference at all. All right, there's that. All right, so now you got the seat. Now this is gonna go underneath the back part. And actually this just sits back here. So I don't know if it goes around, it's no worries, it's just so the material is by your child. Next thing, let's do the back piece, okay? This back piece goes over here, okay, and in front of the bottom piece. So this little elastic goes over the top. And then you just put the elastic over one ear. And again, between the gray and the dark gray and the light gray, or black and gray, whatever you want to call it. So we'll put this over and around the ears, okay? And then you have a choice where to put this. You really don't. There's 2 spots. I took the Velcro before off, so I'm gonna actually just thread it back through. I'm gonna open this up, let a little more slack out by pushing the button, and we'll thread one of these through this hole, and I'll re-Velcro it. Let's do it like that. And then I'll put this over here, and I'll re-Velcro this one also. And I'm just making sure they're closed. All right, now you got these coming out. I'll refasten this, put this down. All right, and so that's, let me make sure we got this on. Yep. So, all right, so now you got this and this. Now all we have to do is this back piece, and we're virtually done. Okay, so LS Stupido. As I was putting this together in Final Cut Pro, I realized that when I put this car seat together, I forgot to do something. You got this hook and this hook on the back of this top piece have to go back here. There. I didn't realize till I watched the video back. Probably the best way is to lift it up high as you can. Now I don't have the head, the thing. I don't even know what I do with it. The GoPro head attachment. So I'll see if I can just grab it with these pliers and then stick it around there. And again, it's whatever. They say the right tool for the right job. So I got this thing in my left hand and I'm trying to do it with my right hand. But anyway, here, let's see if I can. Would help if I had my glasses. There's one that side's on. Just get this here to hold on to it. See if I could do this while holding the camera with my other hand. And again, if you take some kind of hemostat-y thing, tweezers you could use. Yeah. All right, that's it. So both sides are on there. And I'll put this back how I had it. This goes back here. And this, again, with one hand, because I'm holding this with my other hand. Just goes between the white piece and the styrofoam here. So I'll slide that with one hand. Really is helpful having both hands. Just, that's a side note. So anybody that doesn't have both hands, that really, you're at a huge disadvantage. And that's not meant to be a joke. Okay, so that's it. So the back piece, best to start it over here in the back, in the middle. And again, you're gonna go between the black and the gray. So approximately, let's approximately center it, put the tag inside. All right, it's just a matter of fitting it underneath this spot right here. And again, nothing keeps it on but a little bit of tension. So let's see if we can get this part under so it doesn't come flying out. Once you hook it under like so, then you should be able to pull up on it and slide it in there and it should work. But let's see. Probably easier if I open this. Nah, no difference. No difference. All right, so we'll slide this around like this, like that, like that, like that. Okay, same deal in between. See if we can get this underneath. And I did get it underneath, but I felt this part come off. This probably should be the last thing you do. So let's do this. We'll get this ear and we'll slide it back here. The idea is not to have any extra on the bottoms. All right, and then once we got that, we can finish it up like so. In between, in between, in between. And just make sure that these are kind of touching underneath here. In other words, there's no extra material. This is right up against the styrofoam. This is right up against the styrofoam. And these are all the way back and smooth, back and smooth. All right, so we got that. The only thing we have to do that's left is to make sure we orient this properly. This slides underneath, there behind, and watch, slide it through the same hole that you have the button on. I'm gonna put it through over here. I'm sorry I'm not explaining this so well, but picture's worth 1,000 words. So we'll slide this with this little area here. Slide, make sure this is flat, because they're actually sitting on that in the middle. Okay, so that's good. And then the two last things, I like the Velcro facing out, kind of like this, and the soft part should be against their skin. So let's do this. I'll buckle this in here, buckle this in here, pretend we have a child in here, Okay, and this is going to be the shoulder padding. So we'll put one on this side, and this is looks like two-sided tape that's moved, one, but it's lasted. We've had these for 5 years. And the second one is going to be there. And there you have it. So it works. Let's just make sure it works. It does. That's going to be where their shoulders are. This is latched in properly. This part goes underneath the back. Nice and smooth. This clicks in properly. These are behind this. Well, you can see all the material here. It's nice and soft where they're sitting. This is on, this is on, this is on. And that's it. So you have a nice clean car seat. These things tend to get ratty pretty quickly. But that's it. They'll be sitting here. And these things have held up very well. You know, there's a tag that had date of manufacture. These are 2014 manufacture, or the end, and it's 2019 right now. So they've held up really well. We do have 4 of them because we have 2 for each car, but my suggestion is buy black. All right, these things look practically brand new, and it's 5 years of twin boys. Okay, that's it. Have a good day, and I hope I didn't speak too quickly and you could follow what I was doing.